Kirk Cousins, a backup for the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, this is going to be interesting, boy. If you have not already, check out Jude Talk Sports breakdown on this topic on whether or not the Atlanta Falcons Kirk Cousins should be or will be the backup for the Atlanta Falcons in 2025. This is going to be an interesting video. This is my take on the matter. First of all, let's just get straight into why this is a question. Well, Raheem Morris confirmed that obviously that Michael Penix is going to be the starting quarterback and the number one quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons for the foreseeable future. He is that guy. Terry Fontenot also confirmed it himself. So, that Michael Penix is that guy. But there's a twist to it. Kirk Cousins, when asked about Kirk Cousins and whether or not the Atlanta Falcons are going to keep him with the Atlanta Falcons, both of those guys, Terry Fontenot more so, came out and stated that he is completely and fully comfortable with keeping Kirk Cousins as a number two and the backup for Michael Penix. Now, this is hella interesting. Why? Not because Kirk Cousins is not, in my opinion, a valuable asset in the NFL, because I still think at this particular point in time, I still think he's a valuable asset for the Atlanta Falcons. But, there are some teams that may be out there, you look at him, these guys might look for, a guy to come in and be a quarterback for them for 1, maybe 2 years and or be that bridge for their next quarterback. So I do believe that Kirk Cousins still has value in the NFL. But the thing is with this, and in Jude's video, he pretty much stated that he would not be opposed to Kirk Cousins being the backup for Michael Penix. Now, this is a quarterback league. I think we all know this at this particular point. Having a guy like Kirk Cousins or having two quarterbacks that you can count on. Both of these guys, for the most part, are pretty cool dudes, and they still have a lot left. I think if you look at what Kirk Cousins is at this particular point in his career, I think he's a valuable quarterback. Now, the Atlanta Falcons obviously are building towards the future, and the thing with this in particular, with Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins, is this going to be a back and forth fight? That's the thing. That's the thing for me when I look at this. Is this going to be a back and forth issue where Kirk Cousins is unhappy in Atlanta and he's going to go out of his way and say certain things to try to get himself out? I don't know. That's the risk that you're taking when you're looking at this Atlanta Falcons team right now. When you hear Terry Fontenot saying he's comfortable with Kirk Cousins being the quarterback. I think that's the thing with the Atlanta Falcons. On one hand, I think there's two things when you look at the Atlanta Falcons, possibly three. But the first thing is what I said, all right? Is Kirk Cousins going to be comfortable? Is he going to be happy with that? That's the thing. Because you look at a guy and look at what he's done in the NFL. Kirk Cousins had a fairly successful career, made a lot of money. So this guy can play. Make no mistake about it. Kirk Cousins can play, and he's been in this league for a long time, and he's gotten paid for that. So he still can play. He still can put up some numbers. He still can do some things. And then two, you look at the locker room. The locker room for itself. The locker room. How are the Atlanta Falcons players, whether it's a starter, a Bijan Robinson, a Tyler Algier, a Drake London, a Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney, how the Falcons are going to treat those guys the same way, and in regards to competition. So for me, I think it could be a good thing in having a backup quarterback like a Kirk Cousins sitting behind Michael Penix in case something happened. But two, you got to look at this, man. How the players are going to respond to it. Okay? How the players are going to respond to Kirk Cousins being a backup. He came here to be the starter. He did perform well. And then the players, even if they disagree or agree with how the Atlanta Falcons are going about this, the players may look at him and say, hey, bro, you did this to Kirk. You're going to do this to me. Now, the third thing when you look at this, I mean, in situations like this, when players don't have a lot of power, all right, let's just say a team comes up to Kirk Cousins' agents and say, hey, I think I got a deal for you. We can get it done. And Kirk Cousins knows that he can go somewhere else, whether get another paycheck, or you have him, get another a paycheck, get another starting job. Will Kirk Cousins go out his way if the Atlanta Falcons, Terry Fontenot, the general manager, just says, no, bro, we're not getting rid of you. We're not getting rid of you at all. You're going to be our backup quarterback, and we're not going to take on this dead cap. I absolutely refuse to take on this dead cap. If this team will not negotiate with us for this money, then you're going to be on this Atlanta Falcon team whether you like it or not. And a player like, in this particular instance with Kirk Cousins, he may not like it, so he may start some locker room drama. He may go to the media like we saw before with Julio Jones. He went to the media, start to talk to guys like Shannon Sharp on Undisputed. Players do these types of things, and this is not the first time. We just saw Kirk Cousins do it this time. He went to the media, said that he was hurt the entire time after he said on a press conference when asked by D-Led, if you want to see that video, head over to Twitter. I got the video up there, but he said to D-Led that he was not injured, only to take it back in the offseason and say that he was injured. So Kirk Cousins already has shown us that he is willing to cause a little controversy in order to get what he wants. So these are the positives, the negatives of this situation. Again, you got a guy like, the positive having a guy like Kirk Cousins is you got a quality backup that's sitting behind Michael Penix that can step in and pretty much be fairly successful. The second thing is, how are the teammates, the players around Raheem Morris and his Atlanta Falcons team, how are they going to receive this? Are they going to say, look, man, Raheem, he reneged on a promise that he gave us? So these are the things that you have to take into consideration. Is he going to do me like he did Kurt? Do I really want to be here? And then the third thing, like, what if these guys decide that they don't want to be here? Are they going to run to the media like Kirk Cousins did, like a Julio Jones did? That's another thing. So let me know what you guys think. Are you comfortable with Kirk Cousins being back in Atlanta, considering the issues that are going on in regards to Kirk Cousins and his injury, or him allegedly being injured? Terry Fontenot saying we weren't aware of any injuries. So there's a clear divide with this Atlanta Falcons team and player. How do you think, and what the Atlanta Falcons should do in this situation? Would you bring Kirk Cousins back to be the backup for Michael Penix? Yes or no? Leave the comments in the video. Truly appreciate it. This has been your boy, Matt Mike, and shout out to Jew Talk Sports. Again, you guys can check out his video. It will be in the pinned comments, all right? So head over to his video in the pinned comments so you can check out his take and his reasoning why he personally believes in Kirk Cousins and this Atlanta Falcons and what should go, what he should do in this instant. The Falcons should do in this instant. It's interesting. All right, so that's all I got to say about that. This has been your boy, Matt Mike, with another Atlanta Falcons news update. I'm out of here, man. Peace.